Hey, good morning, guys. You guys hear me? All right. Bear with me. Carlos is out sick this morning. So I'm taking over and I'm just trying to make sure I'm set up. So give me just a minute. And we should be ready to roll. Sorry for the slight delay. Good morning, Dave. Thank you for letting me know you guys can hear me on YouTube too. Okay. Let me just get set here. Man, market is strong this morning, up 0.75% on the SPY. Actually, some private Chinese data came out last night with factory operations higher than they anticipated. First time in a while. Everybody thought they were slowing so hard. So I actually texted Carlos last night and said how it's going to be fun to trade today. So anyway, let's get rolling. Still just getting situated. So first things first, couple of announcements. We all know the Traders Challenge ended Friday, which it was awesome. We got some great feedback. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Tonight, there is a YouTube live presentation where we're going to announce, not only we'll announce the winners at that time, but really some pretty cool information. So there's a link on the channel. Take a look at that. I believe it's at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Carlos will be running that. So look forward to seeing you all there. Any questions you guys have about it or anything else. So yeah, it'll be recorded, Nick. It'll be on YouTube afterward, available. Andrew is going to be in Toronto on April 7th for a meetup. Check the forums. I believe the link is Brian will be there too. So the link is up there in our chat in the alerts. Montreal meetup 6/21. Check the forums for that. He's going to be at the Modern Trader Summit presenting. He'll actually be presenting at the Modern Trader Summit on June 22nd. So hopefully some people can get out there and see them. Let's see here. So like I said, Chinese factory data or manufacturing data came out yesterday. It was higher than expected. First time in a while that's happened. So that and some trade news has caused SPY to peak up about 0.75%. Got a decent gappers list here. Real quick, since we're running behind, I'm going to be a little bit short on what happened on Friday, like we usually go through previous day markets, but we'll take a quick look. I know the big one here was Restoration Hardware, or I believe they've rebranded themselves as just RH, because that's in vogue these days. Drop your actual name and just go by letters. Weight Watchers is just WW now, I think. So anyway, this thing, they reported earnings, I believe it was Friday morning or Thursday night, and it was, you can see gap down huge from the 130s down to the high 1-teens. And then at the open, it was just a classic opening range breakdown here. I don't know why there we go. So, open in the teens and then just precipitously drop the entire day. Down to 103-ish. I know Brian took some of that. I didn't really do a whole lot of RH. It's a low float despite its price, so it can get some wild moves. So I kind of steered clear of that one, but just a beautiful move all the way down. People were trying to catch reversals on it here and there. It just didn't happen. Yeah, no, Kurt, I was looking for it to bounce a little bit too, and it just never did. I think I caught a tiny bit of this right here, but like I said, because because of the float and the price of the shares, that combination, it was just a tiny amount. It really was just for fun, nothing more. And then what else? Of course, we had the Lyft IPO. The IPO priced at $72, opened at 87 or 88, and then just sold all the way down all day long. Of course, new IPO, you can't short it, so there's not much you could have done to trade this and made any money on it. But it ended up closing, high 70s, 78, and then it looks like it's gapping down another 2.5% this morning. So it is shortable today. It only has 60,000 shares, so those will probably evaporate pretty quickly. Oh, I'm sorry. Mike, hang on. I appreciate you calling that out. Sorry about that. Let me, I usually share a different screen for the pre-market than I do during the day, so let me get that fixed. There we go. Thank you for pointing that out. So anyway, like I said, the IPO priced at 72. That's for, institutions and such that were able to get in on the IPO, open the public markets in the 88-ish, and then just gave back about $10, and it's down another 2.5 today. So what else is there of any interest? I personally took Apple, which just ended up being a chop fest on at the open. I got stopped out a couple of times, and I actually ended up walking away and taking a break for a little bit, till about 10:30 or 11, just because I realized I was being stubborn about it. Ended up my day okay, but it just wasn't a great open. So, all right, let's. I'm gonna clear this stuff off here. I don't see anything. NVIDIA, but that's a normal suspect for me, so I'll take a look at that. But Lyft, I guess we can leave on there. I'll take off this duplicate. Sorry, guys. I usually have this all taken care of before the pre-market show, but I didn't know I was going to be flying solo until this morning. All right, so ADXS, IQ. We'll take a look at these gappers first, and then yeah, there's a ton of stuff moving into the market. We talk about it all the time. When we have these larger market moves, and 0.75% gap is a pretty decent move. So this ADXS looks interesting. IQ looks interesting above above about 3%. AMD, you're starting to get into the zone here of this stuff that's gapping up with the market. So we'll try to be choosy. I'm guessing some other things will pop up on there in the next 15 or 20 minutes, but let's take a look at what we got so far. Yeah, Kurt, I think it probably will be a little bit of a choppy morning. If you look at the SPY on a daily, we're kind of back up at that area of resistance, where we've bounced here once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. Some people have counted as high as 12 that I've read. And so until we get a definitive move out of this zone, we're probably going to be in for some chop. Now, who knows? Today might be the catalyst that does it, or we might just start to sell off again like we have been most of the time. But let's take a look, see what we have this morning. So ADXS, float 69 million shares, so it's a decent float. Daily here. not that great. It's just kind of choppy here and then bounced off this level. Hi, what's the news here? Do we know? Take a look. Moved kind of like a low float from 575 to 823, but clinical trials, yeah. So, all right, that looks decent for the moment. We'll leave it there. IQ, I got to get rid of all these old levels. I don't trade IQ that much, just kind of biased to it. When it was a low float, like last summer, I didn't have a great time trading it, so I've kind of just held off on doing so much. I've put levels on it a couple of times, as you can see, but it's never really that's right. And there is SSR on ADXS as well. There's actually, it's not shortable. I don't have shares with IB for short, so I'll take that off my list because of that. IQ, it's got a decent daily. It a lot of gaps right in here, but we'll see. Of course, it is shortable. PDD, these are, these Chinese stocks, IQ, PDD, JD, they're all gapping on this news we were just talking about earlier. Not the best chart pre-market here, but that could definitely change as we get closer to the market. There's just not a lot of volume on this. Despite 131,000 shares, guessing most of it's in that candle right there. But we'll take a look. We'll see if it comes back in. Of course, AMD is going to have a ton of volume. 800,000 shares, which actually isn't too incredibly high for AMD, but we know that this has traded well recently. These nice bounces, this one run here was huge. I think Andrew traded that one morning. He was looking at MU, and we called out to look at AMD, and he took it and did well on it, but we'll come back and take a look at that in a minute. AZN, AstraZeneca. This is a foreign stock, United Kingdom, I believe. Don't like this chart. This daily chart's choppy and just gaps all over the place. Pre-market's not great, so I'm going to take that one off. And did we look at JD yet? Yeah, JD, I believe we did. It's it's very similar to IQ. MU, very similar to, let me delete these levels. MU, very similar to AMD, as we all know. A lot of times these semis kind of move together. And this is just generally the same pattern as the SPY as well. So a lot will depend on SPY, if SPY can hold these gains. We have the 200 moving average coming up on the daily here, just above 43. You can see it bounced off of it really hard right here on the daily. Tested it, what was that, a little over a week and a half ago, came down, and then now it's going to try to make a run for it again. Who knows? It might try to test that. That would be a decent dollar move out of MU. So keep an eye on that. And then ACB. Aurora Cannabis, this one is shortable. A lot of the pot stocks are not. 500,000 shares, it looks like, for IB. So it's a decent short supply. If we wanted to, could be able to take it short probably, but decent daily chart. It looks like it's coming up here. It's consolidated for a little bit, and it might try to break out as well. So might be something for us to keep an eye on. Let's look at NASDAQ active and gainers real quick. SQQQ. We're not going to get into the ETFs. AMD, ADXS, we've already looked at. QQQ. JAGX, this is a penny stock, I believe. Yeah. TQQQ, another ETF. SCLB. Don't do it, Norm. What, JAGX? Oh, yeah, no, I know. I actually had a friend that bought, not traded, bought shares in JAGX a while back. He's not a trader. and knows very little about any of that stuff. Well, it'll kill you. SCLB, Selective Biosciences. What is the float on this one? Let's take a look. 17 million shares. Yeah, it looked like these massive pops here look like a low float. 383,000 traded so far. Volume in this one candle is about a third of that. It could be interesting. I won't personally trade it, but I'll put it here. We'll see if we can have some time to find some levels just in case. Of course, Lyft is on the active. We've already got that up here on our list. SORL. What is this? Is this another? Low float, 7 million shares. So I'll put this down here and we'll take a look at it in a minute. And then PVIX, another ETF. So ADXS we already looked at. IFMK. Stock's just over $1. Doesn't have any volume, 12,000 shares. SGLB. No volume. EVOK. No 145, but this is terribly ugly. We'll skip that. SORL we looked at. SELB we looked at. ZIOP. Pre-market action not great. Not enough volume. YGYI. No volume. JMU no volume. EYPT. No volume. Anybody else have anything? Let's see here. ACB we looked at. NEO, somebody's calling out. ADXS, yeah, we've got ADX. I took it off because ADXS is not shortable. I can add it back on here if you guys want to take a look again. I want the option. I don't want to be stuck watching something and not have the ability to go either way the moves on it. So generally I'll pull something off my charts if that's the case, but we can take a look at it. NEO, I'm not a fan of trading, but we'll take a look at it as well. And then what else do we have? BABA. And PGTX. Yeah, BABA's pretty flat this morning, up 1.5%, 156,000 shares traded. It's a NYSE stock, so pre-market volume a lot of times is going to be a little light. It's not the greatest pre-market, but with all the news and everything, it could end up being something. Let's see if anything else has popped up here we've missed. No, those are the same ones. And like Stuart, I think it was Stuart that mentioned a golden cross on the SPY. That's the 50 crossing the 200, which could be a very good sign usually. Let's see here. Take a look. Somebody called out Roku. I'm going to add Roku, take a peek at it, and then we will. What's TGTX? What's the float there? $68 million. It's not really enough volume. I'm not seeing a ton going on here, but we'll leave it on for the moment because it is 123,000 shares. It's just not consistent volume going in here. So we'll take a look. All right. So let's see if we can find some levels. So we'll start with Lyft. We talked about this on Friday. Finding Lyft on an IPO is difficult because there's no history. So, you know, obviously the previous day close, previous day low are going to be some interesting levels. You can see it came up this morning, bounced right off previous day close before it sold off. So really here, I'm just going to I'm just going to mark low of pre-market. We already have previous day low. We have previous day close. And we'll leave it at that for now. I doubt I'll take a look at that just because it's so hard to find levels and do anything interesting with it. MU, of course, we know we have levels on MU. The first big level is going to be this moving average. So I'm going to mark where that's sitting right now. And then support levels we already have on here. I mean, it's pretty much this 2 days ago low that we have, but I'm going to go ahead and put my own mark on it there in case as well. And then, I mean, with all this consolidation, really all the levels we have are in here. Now to the upside, let's see, we'll go ahead and mark that. That's a pretty decent level. It's not that much of a distance from the previous one, but 75 cents is pretty good for INU. And then it usually wouldn't run this much, but let's see if we'll find one over here just in case. I'll go ahead and mark this level right here. 46. It would be a pretty crazy day for MU to be able to do that. But all right, let's see here. So ADXS. Take a look at the daily. It's up 38% this morning. There's a pretty decent level right there. It coincides almost with high of pre-market. Decent level right there. Another 50 cents away or so. And then I would say here. As far as lows go, we already got one marked there with the previous day level. Can't short it, so it's pretty useless to mark a whole lot to the downside unless we can find a bounce and a reversal on it. See if we go back in time here a little bit, what we can find. It might be something decent to the upside. But it's this whole big consolidation period here. I mean, you're talking a 3 times move, so that doesn't even make any sense. But let's move on to IQ. So sorry, guys. Let's see here. Chris, we looked at Lyft. I don't know why all right, well, my shift function stopped working for the moment. It was working just a minute ago, so let's see here. This level up here on IQ, it's a pretty decent level there. 19. What we got there? Let's see, what else do we have in here? Need some more levels in here. Oh, now it's working. It's probably operator error. Not much in there I'm seeing. That isn't going to happen. I just needed to get rid of that. There's definitely a level up here, and it coincides with this moving average well. So mark there, 27 if it really decides to move. And then go there. I don't like trade. I probably won't be watching IQ, PDD. I've already got some levels marked, but I'm going to go ahead and take those off. I've got this level here where it gapped down hard that morning, 27.92. It's a long way away. Got a level here. From there, let's see if we got anything else back in here. Those are pretty decent, along with previous day levels as well. AMD. First time I've looked at an AMD chart and not had much on it that I can remember. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this. This recent high, this recent low coincides with a few days ago. It's bounced there 2 days in a row, so that's a pretty decent heavy level. It's pretty decent there, right at 26.96. And then it's got this gap to fill on the low end, possibly this level here. Not a gap, but it's been in that level a few times if it were to tank. So, what else do we have? JD. Got lower levels, it likely I'm going to be going there. It's sitting right at this 200. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that. Zoom in here to get it. There's a level to the upside. There's one a little bit above that. And then right there as well. So got a few levels. We don't have anything. Let me see what's right in here. I'd like to have something between here and 33.50. It's 32 with these moving averages back there. No, that's no, I'm not seeing a whole lot. Let's see here. Next one, MU. We've already got levels for MU. Let's just see if we can find anything new. Go on the 5-minute, we'll mark high pre-market. Lower pre-market despite these wicks. And then on the daily, we've really already got a good number of levels marked. We talked about that one earlier up top. 3306, Kurt, where on was it AMD or JD? Yeah. See? Yeah, you probably are picking up this one, and I'm at that other one, which is just above it. But we'll drop one there. It's close enough. ACB, like I said, I won't trade this, but let's find a couple of levels. That ACB's got a really clear level. ACB's got a real clear level at the top right there. If it starts to run there a couple of times, and then if it really decided to go, I'll take this high out as well. Leave the rest of what I have. BABA. Got some levels to the downside already on here, but let's mark a couple here to the upside. So it looks like 188, 13, 14-ish. And then this peak from over here where it held these moving averages, 195. There's no way I can see it getting up there, but just in case, I don't see a whole lot else in between. Let's look at pre-market. There's higher pre-market. Lower pre-markets previous day off that little dip right there, probably a block sale, but we'll leave it. Still going down. TGTX. TGTX. This is interesting. 5.6. And this is not a low float. 68 million shares. It's a long way away, but I'll start there and work my way down there. We'll tag one up there. Tag one in here. Let's go back in time a little bit. Those are already pretty well defined by that. I do want to mark this moving average. 1014-ish. I got that 10. That could be interesting right there. NEO, we got a couple more before Brian will hop on probably. See, I already marked levels on here, but let's look at pre-market. This is the Chinese threat to Tesla, isn't it? Pre-market, a couple of pretty substantial levels in between. It's only 10 cents there, but what do you do? $5 stock. SELB. This is one flat daily right here. It's got some volume that came into it. Mark high of pre-market. Low of pre-market. And then I'm going to mark this top up here. I won't be trading it, but sometimes I'll keep my eye on that stuff. Anyway, let's see here. What else do we have? SORL. Where do we float was on this? 7.9. I won't be trading it, but all right. There's our list. I'm going to wait a few minutes before I start peeling anything off. We've got a lot on there. Too much really to watch. Yeah. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. I've cleared my levels on NVIDIA. Sometimes I don't even mark them just because I'm so used to trading it. Those are ridiculous. 71. There's not a whole lot right in here. It just moves so much that it's going to be an interesting area right in here. If I can get through here to this gap from previously, I might give it a shot at some point. So, and then we'll mark here. So pre-mark. Yeah, I'll take a look at Celgene in a second. We looked at that earlier, and I, for some reason, took it off, but it doesn't surprise me that it's in play. Oh, C. Come on, spell it right. Celgene, it doesn't really have enough volume, doesn't have a gap this morning, so I'm not going to put that on the list. Just not in play, not active enough. Let's see here. Boeing. It's been really tough to trade recently. Ever since this big sell-off the day after that plane crash, it's just kind of consolidated around here. It looks like it might try to break out of this range or find a way. We'll see. I've already got levels marked on it, so I won't do it again, but I will throw a higher pre-market on here. Let's see here. Anything else? AMD, yeah.
Okay, good morning, Norm.
I can't hear Brian. There we go. Brian, did you just hop on right now?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good deal. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
Good. Good morning.
Hope everyone had a great weekend. So you've been going through gappers?
Yeah, we went through gappers. I don't know if you saw the news, but the Chinese manufacturing data was stronger than they thought. That was released yesterday. So the SPYs popped up 0.75%, and I think it's most of what's moving our gappers list this morning. But there's a couple of things on there otherwise.
ADXS, top of the list.
Yep.
IQ seems to be popping up fairly often lately.
It does. I'm gonna probably my list is so large right now. I'm gonna narrow it down and probably pick one or two of these Chinese stocks to leave on there between IQ, PDD, JD, BABA.
Right. Roku's up quite a bit.
Didn't look at Roku. Let's take a look.
Interesting.
Did you have a swing go on Roku? I know you did in the past, but
No.
I couldn't remember if you had a recent one.
No. It was getting a little bit too erratic.
Mm-hmm.
I did take some home one of the days last week and just sold it, but it actually, I was glad I sold it in the morning because it sold off. Let's see here. What do we got?
Yeah, this is an interesting chart on Roku. It looks like it might want to try to break out again.
Yeah.
After this consolidation.
It's been kind of choppy, but in that I was decided not to watch it. But let's just see here how it trades today. So ADXS 70 million float roughly. So it's not a low float. Is there news on that? Because it doesn't look like it's moving much.
Yeah, there was. I think it. Yeah, it's a biotech, and I think they had some positive trials on Friday that were released.
Okay. What else we got here? Okay.
All right, YouTube. I am. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. Like I already mentioned, tonight we're going to announce the winners YouTube live, 8 p.m. Eastern for the winners of the challenge. Tune in if you can. It'll be recorded if you happen to miss it. But thanks for joining us this morning, and trade safe. Be smart, guys.